Alrighty, my little deviant ones. Good morning, good evening, whatever the case may be, in whatever part of the world you're living in. Hope you're having a great day and enjoying yourself now. The name of the stream was How's Your Day Going in Second Life? Alright, so let's start today off by asking that most important question. How are you doing and where do you find yourself at this point in time in the day? If you're a Second Life citizen, have you had a great Second Life day? Did you get a little naughty? And if so, what kind of naughtiness did you really get into? Don't be shy. Make a comment in world. If you want to be part of the show, hit me with an IM and I'll send you TV right away. Now today we're just going to be relaxed, chilling out and just shooting the shit. A few things I want to get off my chest though. That's really not a rant or anything like that. For those of y'all that are basketball fans, you know what this time of year is. It's March Madness. Now the conference championship tournament for the SEC starts tonight at 6. Now I don't know about you, but if you are into basketball, this is a great matchups tonight. Starting at 6 and going 3 games tonight, couple games tomorrow, and then all throughout the weekend. You know, you gotta love it. This time of year is like Christmas to us basketball junkies. You know, a lot of y'all in Second Life, though, probably don't like sports because you're too invested in your virtual world. But I would strongly suggest you all get out there, be a little athletic, play a little bit of sports during the summer, because we got wonderful weather on the way. You know, the spring is almost here, then summer is right behind it, and before you know it, the year has flown by again. But we won't get on too much of a rave about that. I was thinking this the other day, how time has flown by. I'm telling you, once you start getting older, time goes quicker and quicker and quicker. You can't help it. 1 minute you're on a Monday afternoon, next time you just wake up and look up and it's already Wednesday. Hump day even. Now, where did that term hump day ever come around? Is it because it's just getting over that hump, going down the hill the rest of the week? Well, I think it's a little bit more dirtier than that. Hump day can put so much into the minds. Now, my last live stream, we talked a little bit about trolling videos and how they're getting such high view counts. That's still kind of mind-blowing to me. And if you all watched the last live stream, when I walked into that club, that dude tried to bump me out of there. I mean, come on. That's just another case in point of, another trolls wanting to be trolls. But I digress. We're not going to get all negative today. I wanted to make sure that you all, the ones that were interested and sent me emails over the past couple of days. Yes, I'm still looking for voice actors. If you want to be a part of that, well, you can get back in touch with me. Now, Lisa, the answer to your email will be coming pretty soon. But I will say this, we do have a role just right for you. Just get me in touch with me with your times that you can be in world, and we'll go from there. Now, for those of y'all that may be wondering what I'm talking about in this, okay, one of the goals of Judge World is to create radio content like radio plays. Also, little sitcoms are in the mix on the YouTube side. Now, I'm writing up scripts and now I'm auditioning for actors. Now, this sounds like anything that you might want to have some fun with. well, you know what to do. Now, I want to send out a little shout out to a few people that are local watchers. James, Mike, and Barbara. They're all local people within my hometown, and they tune in quite often, especially on the radio side. Hope you all are doing well. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. I got your email, by the way, and I definitely will be getting back in touch with you. You know, here it is March, and didn't it just feel like, Christmas was not too long ago? Or even Halloween or the fall? Where has time gone, honestly? And what do we plan on doing down the road? Oh, man. Now, I also want to talk to you all about some books and some movies, by the way. Have y'all read any good books lately? If you have, just let me know. Maybe I can turn you on to a few. For those of y'all that might be tuning in at a later date and you're brand new to this channel, this is Jack's World's YouTube channel. And I am Jack. Now, if you're brand new to my content, what I do is I do little commentary videos every now and then, some exploring videos, interviews, and whatnot, and also create radio content. Now, I am starting to get back into the flow of my exploring videos now that I'm getting more time to do so. So if there's any place that you want to really have me explore and dive deep into getting some information about, all you got to do is contact me and let me know, and I'll do what I can. Maybe we can put together a little exploring party with about 4 or 5 of us and have all kinds of fun. Now, if you're tuned in live right now, and you're a Second Life citizen, because I know a few of you are, hit me with an IM if you want to come on down to the show, and I'll send you a TP, or send a shout out in Discord as well. Excuse me. Today's feeling kind of funny, but oh, so exciting, Like I said a few minutes ago, it's the start of the SEC conference tournament. Now, let's pull up today's matchups and kind of talk about them just a little bit from my local people. All right, I'm looking at the bracket right now. We got game number 1, Missouri taking on Ole Miss at 6 p.m. live on the SEC network. Then at 8, we have Vanderbilt versus Georgia. Now, and that's the only 2 games for the night. Then the following day, we have Texas A&M playing Florida in the first game of the day. LSU gets the winner of that game. Then South Carolina will play Mississippi State. Then you got Alabama getting the winner of game number 2. That should be a very interesting matchup. That second day, it always is, if you follow a tournament at all. Now, on Friday, March 11th, this is when it really gets good. Got number 1 seeded Auburn getting the winner of game 3. Then you got Arkansas getting the winner of game 4. And you got Tennessee getting the winner of game 5. Then you got Kentucky, that's us, getting the winner of game 6. And see how this is all breaking off. You're new to the old bracket system. If you can get in that bye the first couple of days, your legs are well rested, and you can really march on through. And I gotta say, I like Kentucky's bracket. I mean, they got a couple of days rest. Now all these other teams are gonna be beating up on themselves to get to us, and it should be an interesting game. and weekend overall. Now on Saturday, March 12th, you have Game 11 and 12, which are the winners of Game 7 and 8 and then Game 12 is winners of 9 and 10. Then on the 13th of March, you have the championship game. Now, as this goes on, the bracket will be sitting there more flushed out, and we'll get a good feel of what kind of matches we're going to have. I mean, the ACC conference this year has been a knockdown, drag-out type season. At times, Kentucky has looked great, and at times they look like a little high school team. Oh, man, you gotta love this time of year. You really do. So, y'all got any thoughts on the games at hand, or do you all even follow sports at all? Probably not. But it's something I enjoy and gives me a whole lot of excitement. Now, after last year, when we only won 9 games, we didn't even make the tournament. So yeah, it's time. It's time to make a deep run, boys. Now, I've said in a live radio show before, earlier in the season, when we were going into the season, for that matter, if Calipari doesn't get to the Final Four this year, I mean at least the Final Four this year, then he should be fired. You don't have a season at Kentucky like you did last year, only winning 9 games out of 31. And you lose in the first round of the conference tournament because you could have strung together a couple of wins and got into the NCAA tournament by winning the conference tournament. But he's not been recruiting the way he's been in the past. And when you play for Kentucky, there's a level of expectation like no other. The only schools that compare to the level of expectation are your North Carolina Tar Heels and your Duke Blue Devils. Okay, those are the Blue Bloods in our conference. Well, not in our conference, but the ultimate Blue Bloods in college basketball. Now, you will have eventually, sometimes these little mid-level teams and second-tier teams come up and have a good season or two when they get a hot coach. But it is what it is. I mean, last season was a downright disappointment. And yes, I'm a bit on a rant and rave about college sports today because I feel like it. And after all, it's Judge World and it's my platform. I'll say and do what I like. Now, I know I'll probably end up getting a whole lot of dislikes about today's topic, but c'est la vie, babies. Now, I remember back when I first came into Second Life years and years ago. You had a little bit of sports on the grid. I'm sure there are some still out there. I mean, well, I think there's some type of bicycling racing type crap around there somewhere. I saw somebody mention that on a talk show on YouTube just the other day. But what happened to the real man sports? I mean, now correct me if I'm wrong, they still might be around, if they are. I would love to check some out. There was a football league in here somewhere, and for the life of me I can't remember the name. And I watched a couple videos from previous seasons, and they looked quite entertaining. Apparently you wore some type of HUD and you actually threw the football around and you ran down the field. It was about as realistic in a virtual world as you could get it. without the whole VR headsets and stuff. Now, if there's still that league around, let me know. Because I'll be more than willing to come down and check it out and maybe do an interview with some of the players and see how the league is going overall. Now, as far as exploring, we kind of touched on that just a little bit as well. If there's anything you want to go do or want me to dive into researching about and maybe even do a video on, let me know. I'm not shy. I won't shy away from all that. Drama be had. It doesn't really matter. And I also want to take this opportunity to send out a warm thank you for all the ones that have been supporting me throughout the years. You know, Jat's World has taken off in many different directions. From the very start of the radio side, back in 2008, on YouTube and as far as in the cell anyway. But the radio side has been around for a lot longer than that. But we brought it into the world back in 2008. Now, I've changed the format some throughout the years. You know, with copyright infringements and all that heavy horse shit. You got to protect yourself. And at the end of the day, though, I always say this. Do you and everything else will fall into place. The moment you stop doing you is the moment and start worrying about other people, as far as what they think anyway, about what you're doing, is when everything gets blown all to hell. And you don't really want that now, do you? I ran into exploring the other day after the whole bar hopping incident. And I found some very wonderful art. Now, if you are looking for some genuine creativity, excuse me, I had a wee bit of the nip today. You need to check out Isadora Summers. Now she has a YouTube channel as well. If you go back and you listen to my most recent podcast and read the show descriptions, you can get a link of her YouTube page there. But she's got an in-world store when she does great art as well. So I strongly suggest you check her out. Now we also have what was their last name? Well, they were on the show just the other day, last week. Which was a very fun, entertaining live stream. She does makeup and skins. And like I said, go to the podcast episode and you can get her link there as well. Let's see, what else do we have here on the list to get through today? We talked a little bit about the sports. We've talked about how Calipari needs to get his act together. Let's see. Yeah, I just had an IM pop up and this really put my train of thought all the hell. But anyway, we're just going to ignore that for a moment. Oh, don't you just love how technology gets fucking right up the old bunghole? Sometimes, I mean, technology is a great thing. I've said this before. I'll say it again, you know. Technology can be a wonderful thing, but it can also be a curse. Now, earlier today, I was sitting there trying to print some stuff off, and the printer was starting to mess up. Now, this is a practically brand new printer, mind you. It was about maybe 6-7 months old, if that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reinstall the drivers and all that heavy horse shit when I get the opportunity to. But it's just another example how technology can really bite you in the butt. It seems like it's like one of those days, you're moving along, having a great time, and then all of a sudden, bam, you get hit out of from nowhere, and your whole entire vehicle gets totaled. So sometimes you can repair it, sometimes you can't. Oh yeah, you like that little car wreck metaphor, don't you? Now, let's dive deeper into Jack's World a little bit more, shall we? I'm also working on a new segment called Story Time with Jack. Now, once I get some things in place for that, what it's going to entail is me getting on live or doing a recording and telling you all kinds, reading you a story or two. Hell, I might even have open mic night. Throw the stream on live, bring some people down, have them read their works of art. There are a lot of great writers in here in Second Life with some vivid imaginations. And I honestly think, sadly, my point of view is this. Those are the type of creators that are not really getting a... How can I put this? Not really being discovered a lot. Because it is what it is. Let's call Second Life what it is. Outside of the emoting skills and stuff like that, not very many people want to actually sit down and read. That's the reason why the spoken word in a setting like Jack's World or some other little coffee little shops that are around in Second Life for poets and writers are a wonderful way to get your work kind of discovered. I'm a writer myself. I let a different side of my personality show during my live streams and in my videos, but when it comes to my writing, oh yeah, that's something entirely different. You won't really see how different it is until you really dive in deep into my work. And that's the reason why I'm bringing in another segment, like I said, Story Time with Jack. Just gotta get some few little details worked out with a few other people that want to be involved. Get our times lined out together and stuff. But it should be a blast. Excuse me. Well, I'm telling you. The other day I had the crud. I felt like it, but it was only lasting like 24 hours. Got a good night's sleep and felt a lot better. Except for my throat's still a little scratchy. But hey, it is what it is, right, people? Now, we are on the way of another week coming up to the end of the week. Some of you are getting off work today or tonight rather, and your weekend will begin. So, with that being said, do y'all have any risque type plans for the weekend? Or are you one of those types of people that, oh no, I do nothing like that, Jack. Not I, said the fly. Oh man. Excuse me. I want to get back to sports for just one moment. We, as a society right now, we need our sports. We need our virtual worlds to relax in. Because we're living in some dark times, people. I know a lot of you all are needing to find some place to really just step away from everyday stress. And like I said, sports is a great way to do it. Now, with baseball still in its lockout, last report I've seen coming across the wire is that we're getting ready to lose some more games because they haven't gotten a deal struck yet. I find that kind of stupid. Because you got, these are billionaires and millionaires and billionaires fighting over money. They've already made enough money off of one contract to not only live comfortably for the rest of their lives, but for their children to live comfortably and their grandchildren to live comfortably after they're gone or after they retire. I mean, baseball is the only sport that I know of that signs 12 and 13-year contracts. Guaranteed contracts. Now, what does that mean, you may ask? Well, unlike in football, you can sign a 3 or 4 year contract. But if something happens to you in football and you're hurt or you get traded or you retire due to an injury, they don't have to pay you anything. They don't have to honor that contract. So you're basically just out of luck. But in football terms, anyway, if you're in the league long enough, you do get a pension. I'm assuming you get that in baseball too. And in basketball, the same way. It is the exact same way, excuse me. You don't get these long-term contracts. You get 3 and 4 years. Sometimes a 1 year. So many players are going from year to year and getting paid millions of dollars. Sometimes even billions of dollars. Depends on the player. So what is these baseball people really crying about? Guaranteed money for X amount of years, up to at least 12 years, if not more, based on the contract. Oh. And here, the everyday man, this guy worried about gas prices and soaring sky high. I think we've hit a new high, people. Over $4 a gallon. Now, last time it was at $4 a gallon was 14 years ago. And it didn't quite get as high as it's already gotten so far right now. And we all know it's going to get higher. And what happens when gas gets higher? Everything else gets higher. Because you had to pay the trucks to deliver the food, so your grocery store is going to jack up the prices. It's crazy. We are living in crazy times. Actually, you want to ask me my true opinion on the matter, then ask me in private. And I'll be more than willing to tell you what's going on, in my opinion. Right now, we'll just keep it in the general contents. We had no idea what we're going to wake up to nowadays. We really don't. So why not try to just enjoy the little pleasure you get out of life right now? Whether it be Second Life, whether it be sports, whether it be just hanging out with your friends. Oh, man. Do you remember the simpler times in life? When all you had to do really worry about was, getting to work on time, or, oh man, the world has changed so much. So much. Now, I'm a lot older than some of you on here that I talk to on a regular basis. You all really don't remember a lot of the things that I may mention on my live streams, or in my videos for that matter. But yeah, the way our world has evolved throughout the years, I swear I don't even remember what it's like sometimes. What it used to be like sometimes. I do remember it was simpler. Golden years, in my opinion, were the 90s. Yeah, the 90s were, they rocked. '80s were a little depressing, but the '90s rocked. Now here we are, getting ready to roll into, and it's just, oh, fuck. 2023 was the next year. Do you even remember what it was like in 2000? I mean, well, a lot of y'all were teenagers in 2000. So what, you're about barely 20 now? 26 maybe? I'm going to tell you all this. Our generation was lucky. We had the 90s, and there was some problems in the 90s. I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat it and sit there and say, oh, the 90s were great, we had no problems. Well, you always want to have problems. But there was just so much more to do back in the 90s. Technology was just starting to explode. It hadn't been really corrupted by the powers that be yet. And it hadn't become twisted into this foundation where, oh no, you pay a quarter every time you do something, basically. And yes, I'm exaggerating. You'd have to pay a hell of a lot more than a quarter nowadays. But let's use the internet as an example. When it was first created, it was like the wild, wild west. You had all kinds of things you could do. It was like just great big open fields of territory. Then it started getting crowded with other people creating content, developing sites and stuff like that. Then you know what happened? They did a bait and switch on us. This is not the internet that I grew up with. The internet that I grew up with, yeah, some cases were a little bit slower than what you got now as far as your speeds and modems and all that. However, it wasn't as congested. Wasn't so much copy and crap, and you were actually finding people doing things that were brand new and inspiring, Inspiring, I'm telling you. Now what do you get? You get talking heads like myself in some cases, kind of just trying to sell you a certain narrative. You go to one's website, you see the same stories that you saw at another website. Most of the time. That's where Jets World tries to be a little bit different. Even in my content in World, you don't see me doing shopping videos or anything like that because there's so many people that do that. The market's already being taken care of in that regard. I am trying to take care of some of your other needs. Some needs that your imagination needs to be fed with. That you need to be fed with in some regards. I've said this before, and I'll probably end up saying it until the day I leave Second Life, and I don't plan on leaving Second Life anytime soon. I'll probably be a 90-year-old player if Second Life's still around at that point in time. Oh, good God. Can you imagine? Can you really imagine that? Well, I'm sure there are some 90-year-olds in there playing it right now, but you just don't know about it. Now, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. But what I was talking about was this. Creativity is the key for a wonderful life. It brightens your spirits. It lightens your load as well. If you dive into something that really makes you want to that you have to really focus on to create, it takes your mind off of all your other problems. It really can. Thing is, you got to let it. Now, with the way the internet is today, we're not going to ever get back to the good old days to where you're having bigger and brighter ideas each and every day. And I'm not talking about in technology forms. You know, you can keep making bigger and stronger computer chips all you want and all that. What I'm talking about is just letting your mind explore without restraints. How many of you really do that? I mean, how often do you really sit down and really explore your mind and get to know yourself a little bit better? Because we're all evolving over time. Life experiences changes, help us grow, opens up new doors to other opportunities. People come into your life, I honestly believe this, at certain times in your life for certain reasons. Some are not meant to stay around all that long. They're just meant to come in, point you in a certain direction, and they go on their way. That's God's intent. My God's intent, anyway. And I'm not trying to push religion onto you either. No. We're not going to go down that road. I won't push politics and I won't push religion. No way. For those of y'all that are new. But these are just my opinions. And my opinions are not going to be for everybody. Like I said before, and anybody who knows me knows this is true. I can rub you the wrong way sometimes. And the more you hang around me, the more you talk to me, the more you get to know me. It's a guaranteed fact that I'll rub you wrong at some point in time. Make you mad. What the fuck ever. But if you really are a solid friend, you're going to quickly get over that and always come around. Now, if you're somebody who dislikes drama, well, that's a different story. That's why I say, don't feed the trolls. And that's sound advice for all y'all out there. Look, I talk to a few of you all on a daily basis. Some of you all that I've known for years are dealing with some really hardcore shit right now. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what you should do and what you shouldn't do, or how you should do something. That's not my style. But in those little private little talks, you know exactly how I break it down to you. It's up to you whether or not you choose to follow the advice I give. Now, as far as Second Life is concerned, get up off your platforms, and you know who I'm talking to, because I talk to you practically daily. Get off your platforms, get out in there, and just take a big deep breath and relax. Quit worrying about what tomorrow's going to bring. You can look, we all need to be worried about what's going on right now in the world. It's affecting us in every little aspect of our own personal lives in one way or another. But you cannot obsess about it like some of y'all that I know are doing. You're just going to drive yourself crazy. Oh man, really, honestly. And you know when I say it comes from a place of respect and love to a great degree. Because I talk to you all, and you know who I'm talking about. We talk practically every day, and I've known some of y'all for years, and we talking decades. So, just let your mind go when you're in Second Life. Just let it go. Don't sit there and get all knotted up because Joe Blow did this to you, or Bobby Sue said that to you, or oh, look, listen. Do you know that Kim told Linda that I was nothing but a dirty little whore? Oh, let that shit slide. Alright? And yes, these are all names I'm throwing out of the top of my head. They are not really anybody's real names that I know of. Although you might. Oh, you get the idea. You do. You get the idea. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay, all right. I don't. Sometimes I feel like I get a little bit too deep for you all. Maybe I do. But the deeper I get, the more it can benefit you in the long run. You just gotta open your mind to it. Now, for those of y'all that might be popping in just now, and you're brand new to Jat's World, yes, this is where I rant and rave a little bit every now and then, do exploring videos and radio content as well. If you want to dive deeper into Jat's World, go to the webpage, jatvaxon.com, and don't forget to check out the podcast as well. Now let's get back to what I was talking about. Let's see here. Now the world can be twisted, demented, and harsh at times. But are you going to let that kick you in the butt? Are you going to let that win? Oh, goodness gracious, I hope you don't. I really do. Because the people that I'm referring to are the people that I talk to on a regular basis. And some of these messages that I put forth on my stream, they need to hear. My goal here in Jat's World is to have a good time and to maybe lighten some of your all's loads. Give you a place to where you can maybe laugh at me being silly or what have you. Roll your eyes a little bit in entertainment or what have you. But I will say this. Today we've been all over the place, a little bit on topics. It's a little bit from Second Life, a little bit from the real world. And if you read the description of my YouTube channel, this is what I do. I've been doing it from day one, and I'll continue to do it. You know, what we all need in these twisted times that we're living in is just to be able to be more tolerant of each other a little bit and just be able to let go of our stress and just have fun. Stop caring about who's doing who and who lied to who and oh, look at, oh, she must have ripped that dress off, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Okay, people are bad. There are some people out there that just want to play mind games. There are some people out there that want to lead you on. I call it the microwave generation. They want things done in about 10 to 15 seconds. If it's not done in that time frame, they move on to somewhere or something else. Doesn't mean you can't be happy. Doesn't mean that you can't have fun in your own regard. And don't shut the door on good times to be had. And, for God's sakes, don't let yourself get too jaded. And a lot of you all do. You get butt hurt every time somebody says something that you don't like. You go on your little rant. Now, even I go on my own little rant and raves. We gotta get that shit out of our system every now and then. And not everybody's going to like what you say. But don't be living your life in fear of it. We live in America. We live in America and we have the right to say what we feel. No matter who likes it or not. As long as you're not going out there and physically or mentally hurting somebody deliberately, you can speak your mind in my world. And that's the way it should be here in America. You know. Alright, for those of y'all that have been popping in and out, I hope you're having a great day. And if you're brand new to Jat's World, make sure, and you like the content that I produce, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up. Now remember, Sunday nights, every Sunday night, sometimes on a Monday if I'm running late, there's a brand new podcast episode. I send out links to it in my Discord and in various other groups to let y'all know when it's out. Follow me there as well and dive into the world of SL, because that's where I mostly deal with strictly Second Life topics and stuff like this. The YouTube page is a variety of a few things. It's whatever I'm feeling at the moment. Because after all, you're living in Jat's World, and we're all here to have fun. So, getting back to what I was saying a little bit earlier in the stream, kind of do a little bit of a recap for those of y'all that just tuned in on the radio side as well. If you got some place you want me to talk about, or you want to come on the show and talk about, or explore, let me know. We'll set something up. I do not shy away from any of that, because this is what Second Life's all about. Exploring and expanding your mind. And to also give you... Okay. I feel like this has not been covered enough by people in their YouTube videos pertaining to Second Life. Okay? People come to Second Life for one reason or another. And I've done a video about this a long time ago. Some people come in here into virtual worlds like Second Life because they're looking for the support group that they can't really find in the real for some reason. It's not always about sex or trying to get up with somebody. There are reasons why some people come in here. Maybe because they're not finding what they need in the real. In the sense of somebody to be able to sit there and just shoot the shit with. And to get things off their chest. Now that leads me into another little sidebar topic. Yes, there are people that love to have drama and create drama. I'm not denying that. I will never deny that, because we all know that lives in Second Life. It's very strong in Second Life as well. However, when somebody talks to you about their feelings or their state of mind of what they're thinking, doesn't always mean that they're trying to be all dramatified. Yeah, some people get a little bit dramatic when they're telling you a story or something like that about what's going on in their life at that point in time. That could be. It just depends on where they're from and how they were raised and how they're used to talking. Not all of the slang that you hear in one little town in your little state is going to transfer it and translate all that well in here, because, well, people are from all over the world and many different states. We all talk a little bit differently. Then you gotta also factor in the age difference you see sometimes. So, when you see somebody and they're sitting there trying to talk to you, and they may be coming off a little dramatic, take that into consideration. Unless you've known them for a while and you know how they get, then you already know what to do then. But I would strongly suggest that we get back to our roots here just a little bit. You know, Second Life was first created to create things and to build, to expand and explore your imagination. Somewhere along the lines, we've kind of have forgotten that. And then people have also turned to Second Life for, like I said just a few minutes ago, for those y'all just popped in, they're looking for support. It could be just somebody willing to give an ear to listen to their daily problems. Now you gotta walk a fine line with that's concerned though too. Because some people, you're not gonna be able to give everybody everything they need, emotionally or mentally, unless you're a doctor. I don't claim to be one. I'm not no psychologist either. But what I am is I'm a true friend to the people that I call my friends. And when they need to talk, I'm there. Now, with that being said, you gotta also think about this as well, too. Some type of people, they weigh you down, they drain your energy. And when you get done talking to them, you're like, oh my God, what just happened? You gotta balance yourself out with those kind of people. You don't have to necessarily cut them out completely if they're a good friend of yours, but take them with a little bit of salt. You know, little small increments at a time. That sometimes helps. You know, one of the most important things I want you to walk away from this live stream is this right here. Get up off your platforms. Get out there and have fun. I don't care what you do. Just get out there and do something. Talk to your friends. Because with everything we are dealing with today, we all need an outlet. Yeah, you seen Jackson there popping his head in. Now think about it. Where would you be at if you didn't have Second Life? How would you be coping with your day-to-day stresses? We are all using this technology and our platforms to get what we need, are we not? Well, maybe I'm getting too deep for you again, I don't know. But maybe you might be getting a little butthurt. If you are, well, you'll get over it. Now smile. Have a smile, have a Coke, and have some fun. Because like I said at the beginning of the stream, coming up here in about 30 minutes now, it's game time. The SEC tournament begins tonight at 6. And I done went through the matchups, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the games tonight. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Enjoy. Oh, yeah.